Hello friends, what's up? Welcome back to part 2 of me swatching the Diamine Inkvent advent calendar. If you haven't already, I would recommend watching part 1, if nothing else, for sheer entertainment. Accidents happen, mistakes were made, that type of thing. But I did swatch the first 12 inks in that calendar as well, so it might be a good video for you to watch. I also, after filming that video, learned that I really did not know a lot about describing fountain pen inks, and so I did a little bit of research last night, and I have like a little sticky note here, and I also have like some important definitions pulled up because I'm a big fan of, you know, the more you know, and it helps. But let's do a quick recap. It was actually really fun to do this. So I swatched 12 inks yesterday, and these were the first 12 that I swatched. This is a Hobonichi A5 blank notebook that I bought from Hobonichi back in September. And wowzer, this extreme sheen is really cool ink. And we know like that sheening is, it's a shiny reflective quality that appears when the ink dries. And I'm definitely seeing it in this extreme sheen, which is really, really nice. So we're going to start with number 13 today. So I guess to explain what tools I have, my fountain pen is chilling out. I have these pipettes. These were from Hobby Lobby. I bought them. You got like 20 for $1.50. This is a glass dip pen that I also bought from Hobby Lobby. I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I just kind of want to see how the ink writes. And I have water, and then I also have the inks, this ink sample bottle that is pretty much empty or close to being empty, and I'm just using the top to swirly twirly the ink samples. So I just want to go ahead and hop to it and get started. I also pulled definitions of what Chameleon and Star Bright inks are because I didn't know what those were, but I wrote them down in case you don't know what those are either, because we are learning and growing together, right? But it's been fun, I'll say that. So here's the box. Let's hop to number 13. There it is, right here. So I'm just gonna pop it open. And I said it in the video, oh wow, I think I'm gonna like this one, from yesterday, that I have wanted this box for a while, or I've wanted to try it since last year actually, and but I wasn't gonna buy it. It just wasn't, I didn't want to spend the money on it, to be honest with you. Christmas was right, it was coming, and all that good stuff. So I actually, my in-laws were asking like what we all wanted for Christmas, and I said it would be really cool to have this. So they got it for me, which I thought was very nice. So I'm going to be quiet and pull this plastic off. So this is called Lullaby, and it is a standard ink, which is great. Some of those shimmer inks make me very nervous because they are super shimmery. This looks like it's going to be some type of very deep and pretty purple, but let's see what it looks like. And I learned the hard way yesterday that I will always put the top back on when it's not in my hand or where it needs to be. I also, just if you didn't catch the first video, it looks like you get 24 12 ml bottles, 12 milliliter bottles, and 130 milliliter bottle, which I imagine is going to be the 25th. So let's swirl this around. Oh, this is pretty. It's a very pretty, like purpley pink. Fuchsia almost. I don't want to say fuchsia, but it's really pretty. And it's a standard color. All right, so let's dip my little glass pen in here and see how it looks like as a writing sample. I really like this color. Purple is my favorite color. And I have the Pilot Iroshizuku Yamabudo fountain pen ink, and it pairs very nicely in my Purple TWSBI Eco. But this, I feel like, would also pair very nicely in that ink. All right. Chewy's trying to get in the room. Okay, so this is J. Oh, that's so pretty. Yes, it is a very like purpley pink. It is pretty. that's gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. I really like this one. Okay, let me bring it up close. I have to use artificial lighting because it's a very gloomy day here in Alabama, but that's what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? Lovely. Absolutely lovely. All right, so let's pull or open number 14. It looks like there's going to be some shading in here. I'm not sure. We're about to find out. Okay, so 14 is on the calendar. Where is it? Aha, it's up here in the corner. I ripped that. Okay. Mint Twist. It's a chameleon, another chameleon. And as I learned yesterday, a chameleon is a type of shimmer that changes color depending on the angle of the light. So let me open this really quick and we'll do a sample. So I'm fairly new to the fountain pen world in the sense of, like, you know, learning about different inks and, you know, using different pens and all of that. What type of pens do, if you're well versed in this, what type of pens do these shimmer inks perform well in? Does the nib size matter? Or are you like, I'm only putting shimmer inks in my low cost pens or my budget friendly pens? Or do you use them for art? I'm just curious. And also, is it common for Diamine to do so many shimmer inks for the Inkvent calendar? Another thing I'm kind of curious about. The lid back on this bad boy, because again, the more you'll know. All right, it's just a big blob now. All right, let's spread it around, see how it looks. Oh, that's pretty. This green is lovely. Y'all, my washing machine is running in the background. We're going out of town tomorrow, so I'm trying to get all the laundry done. That's so pretty. I like this color. So I don't know how I feel about using shimmer inks in my fountain pens. I might be willing to try them. I have like a Jinhao. It's like a, I don't know what it's a dupe to, but it's a Jinhao I bought off of Amazon. And it's a medium nib. And I wonder how these would perform. It's this one. It's a X750. And it's a medium nib. So, and I have like something on the barrel. Anyway, I wonder how these shimmer inks would perform in that. So I was just curious, like, if you are a lover of fountain pens, what is your take? Okay. Make sure the lid's on good. So this is, such a pretty color. I really like this green. And this is Diamine Mint Twist. This is pretty. I like that one a lot. Okay. Let me zoom you guys in or bring it up really close. I hope the lighting is allowing you guys to see how pretty this green is. I'm definitely seeing some shading too. It looks like there's like gold shimmer or sparkle in here as well. It is lovely. I'm curious to see how it looks dried down, because what I'm realizing is, like, how it looks when it goes down on the paper is not necessarily how it's going to look when it dries down. So I'll make sure once these dry that I include like a short little clip of close-ups like I did in the part 1 video, so that you can kind of see how they look. All right, so we're on 15 now. Dun, dun, dun. There it is, right here. This one is called Sleigh Ride, and it is an extreme sheen. And we know that a sheen is a shiny, reflective quality that appears when ink dries. The definition's pulled up to the side of my laptop. Handy dandy. Okay, let me take this plastic off. Okay, so we have Sleigh Ride. and it is an extreme, I got tongue twisted. It is an extreme sheen. All right, let us do a sample. And I'm doing 4 on a page. And then I think because the 25th is probably going to be that really big bottle, I'm probably going to do like a full page of that just for funsies. Like the finale, right? I wonder what color this is. Is this like a burgundy crimson color? Lid on. Let's give it a swirl. Make sure this is dry. Oh, wow. It's like an orangey brown with like hints of like maybe coral or pink. That's pretty. I wonder how it sheens. I'd like to see it dried down. Wow, that's pretty. I'm so messy, y'all. Look at that. It's fine. This is my ink journal. That's the whole point of this, right? All right, let's go in with a dip and do a quick little writing sample. This color is really pretty. It's very deep. I really like this one a lot. I think this would look good in my cafe bronze. Wow, that's pretty. It's very pretty. Let's bring this up really close so you guys can see it. Wow, that's pretty. Look at that. You can see like hints of pink back here, even some like green. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but man, that's nice. That's very nice. I'm gonna get a new dropper because I can't get that one clean like I want it to be. So, all right, let's do 16, and then I'm gonna take my break and let these dry, and then after that we'll do the next 4. Okay, so we have another standard ink here. It is called Tundra. So I'm going to pop the plastic off. Goodness, y'all, that one was a struggle to get off. All right, let us do some little droplets here. Lid on. I'm going to say it every time, y'all. Okay. That, I didn't write, y'all, I didn't write what they were. It's fine. I meant to write like chameleon. I'm going to have to go back in and do that. We'll go back in and do that before I turn this off. Okay, so let's give it a swirl. Ooh, it's like a gray color. Like a warm looking gray almost. Can't go wrong with a gray ink, right? At least in my opinion. I don't have one in my, like I have like samples, but I don't have a bottle of a gray ink. So this might be a good addition to my collection. It's just, you know, standard gray. Almost. All right. So this ultra sheen is like sheening. Wow. Tundra. I guess if it's standard, I'll just not write anything. It's a very nice color. Very nice indeed. All right, let's go back in and fix my little errors here. Let's go to Sleigh Ride, and I guess under here, see if I can fit it in wherever. I'm going to write ultra sheen or extreme sheen. I don't know why I keep saying ultra sheen. It's extreme sheen. Where can I fit this in? I guess I'll just put it here. Put that in parentheses. I'll bring it up so you guys can see all these samples while they're still wet. And then the mint twist is a chameleon. Let's see if I can do this without smudging ink. It's not going to be the prettiest handwriting, I'll tell you that, because I'm not going to be able to rest my hand. All right. Okay, so that's days 13 through 16 of the Advent calendar. So what I'll do is I'm going to zoom these in. You can already see that sheening on that. The chameleon is drying interesting. The lullaby is so pretty. And then you have the tundra, which is a very nice gray. It looks like there might be a little bit of shading in that. Yeah. All right, so next clip will be how it looks dried down. All right, friends, here is a close-up of these 4 inks, and they dried down really nicely. The sleigh ride had this lovely green metallic sheen, and that lullaby is so pretty. I love that shade of purple, and I really want to ink my Twisby Eco with that one. All right, so I am back to do days 16 or days 17, what, through 22? Is that right? Something like that. 17 to 20, I think is more like it. But yeah, let's go on to 17. That's the next one that we are doing. I did a close-up of the last 4 that I swatched so that you guys could see how they did, and they were actually really beautiful. We have another chameleon ink coming out for day 17. So I'm going to pause and, take the plastic off and we'll start swatching again. Okay, this is called Winter Berry. And like I said a minute ago, it is a chameleon ink. So I'm just going to kind of shake it a little bit to get the shimmer, because remember we said that chameleon inks are a type of shimmer that changes color depending on the angle of the light. Using my little cheat sheet sticky note that I got here. But yeah, let's see what this looks like. It's a really bright red. I feel like I'm finally getting my groove with all of this, which is nice. Always need to recap my inks, learn stuff the hard way in life. Oh, wow. That is a pretty, pretty red. That is very Christmassy. All right, so let's do us a little writing sample. I'll try. I noticed in my last video, I wasn't always in frame when I was dipping my glass pen in here. So I said, let me make sure I'm a little bit more intentional doing that this go around. This is day 17. I mean, this is like a very true red. I did get a little bit of that purple on here, but that's okay. And this is Winter Berry. And it is a chameleon ink. And it's thundering a bit outside. We're supposed to be getting some thunderstorms. Very pretty. It's a very pretty red. It is a very true and pretty red. Let me zoom you guys in so you can kind of get the full effect of how it looks. Very pretty. So I'm curious to see how this is going to look once it dries down. All right, and up next we have 18, which is, my eye instantly went to it. So let's open this bad boy. Oop, and I ripped the door off. Okay, and this is called Vibe, and it is an extreme sheen. So let me pause so I can take this plastic off. So like I said, it's called Vibe Extreme Sheen. So let's grab us a little sample of this bad boy and see how it looks on this Tomoe River paper. And I typically, the reason I swatch on Tomoe River paper, if anyone was wondering, is I don't use any other papers typically for my fountain pens, aside from like Stalogy from time to time. So for me, knowing how an ink performs on the TRP is important, because that's where I use the majority of my fountain pens. Or, you know, when I use like my various fountain pen inks, I use them in my Hobonichi planners, or, you know, I have like a Sterling ink journal, that type of thing. So I'm curious to see how this one looks. Oh, that's pretty. That is really pretty. I like this one a lot. Wow. That is a very pretty blue, almost like a turquoise in my opinion. I feel like on camera it's looking very, very indigo, but there are, you know, like especially around the edges, there are those like, it's turquoise. Almost like on camera, it's coming off very purple even. I wonder if it's because of this red, but it's a very pretty color. Okay, and I'm curious to see what color is going to come through for the extreme sheen. I keep wanting to call it an ultra sheen, and that is incorrect. So I'll get it together sometime, but this is called Vibe. I feel like this is likely a vibe. All right, so let's do a quick writing sample. That's pretty, and it looks like a purpley pink is what is sheening through, and I'm really liking this ink color. It is absolutely, wow, it's stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. That would look really good in a like medium nib pen. May have to change out my water here. Okay, so let's go to 19 now. 19 is here. Fruit Cocktail, and it's a scented one. So that's only the second scented one. The first one was in the first 4 swatches that I did, which was part 1 video. So let me open this. And with the scented ink, which one was it? Let me look. It was Forest Gâteau. It definitely smelled like grape juice, but not on the paper. It didn't smell like that on the paper. So that's interesting to me. Okay. So it does smell kind of fruity. Almost like citrusy. Citrus and peach, maybe? I don't know. Interesting. Very fruity. Even like a fruit punch. So it looks like it's going to pull up orange. Ooh. It is a very wet ink, it seems. Oh, and it's going everywhere. Whoopsie daisy. I'm making a mess, y'all. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Let's give this one a swirl. That is very orange. Very orange indeed. It is very wet and very orange. Very orange. Like a true orange with some yellow. Like a yellow orange maybe. Even might be a better description. Not my favorite. Orange is not a color that I'm crazy about, so let me dab this up, see if I can clean up some of my messes. I'm messy. Okay, let's do a writing sample. I don't know how I feel about this one, but again, there's only been one that I just am like, me no likey. And that was that like lemon lime one. This is a very wet ink, it would seem. Okay, so, way too much on here. It's okay. Hold on, let me get some of this excess off. That is very wet. Let's see if that will help a little bit. This is a very wet ink, y'all. Okay. So day, yeah. Fruit cocktail. And it is a scented. That's as far as I'm gonna do it. I don't want to dip it again. It's a very wet ink, very orange, a very orangey, yeah, just like an orangey yellow, like a very true orange, in my opinion. Not my favorite, but orange is not my favorite. It's almost like a Tennessee orange. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's the best description I can give. There's orange on this, if you want to compare oranges. I'm going to compare oranges and oranges. But yeah, it's kind of giving me like that Tennessee orange vibe. So, yeah. Cool. All right. Let's do day 20. I think I'm like finding my groove, y'all. All right, this is pretty. I didn't do that on camera. This is a standard called Potpourri. So I'm going to pull the stuff off. Okay, and this one is called Potpourri. It is a standard ink, which is nice. I'm going to get a new pipette. The other one was, the water is very blue, so I don't feel like getting up and changing my water just yet. This looks like it's going to be a very deep purple, which I am not upset about. Okay. Always putting the lid back on, y'all. Okay. The top is a little wet. Let me dry it off real good. Okay, let's swirl it around. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is beautiful. It's a very plummy purple, burgundy, almost like a grayish purple, smoky purple, not even in frame. This is a beautiful color. I really like this one a lot. That's so pretty. Purple is my favorite color, especially this color right here. It's just a very beautiful, deep purple. Almost is giving me, I want to see how it writes, but almost giving me the vibes of, I had not quite the same shade, but I had a very deep purple that was, it was a sample of the Atramentis, Alexander Hamilton, and I loved that purple. I think this is a little bit deeper and a little bit like browner, has more of the brown undertoning. I'm also seeing some like shading come through right now, like almost like a blue shading, maybe even some gray. I don't know if I'm the best at describing colors. I just write what I see. So this will be day 20. Oh, I love this. Is this more like an eggplant purple? It is absolutely beautiful. So Diamine Potpourri. I am going to put standard. I haven't been consistent with doing this. That is absolutely a beautiful purple. It's not a bright in your face. It almost makes me think of my watch band here. So pretty. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's go through and I'll quickly just kind of like do like a zoom of what these all look like wet and they're not fully dry. the vibe with the extreme sheen. It is a purple sheen coming through, like almost very similar to this color sheen coming through. The fruit cocktail is starting to dry. And then Diamine Potpourri. We're seeing some blue shading in here. All right, I'll give a quick zoom once these are dry, and then we will do what the last, hopefully 4 or 5 in the next clip. So I wanted to share a close-up of these 4 inks. The Vibe ink is absolutely beautiful. It had the blue base with this very deep purpley pink sheen. The only one I didn't like was the fruit cocktail. That's just not my vibe. But I would say all of these inks dried down very nicely. Okay, friends, we are back to start with day 21 in the Inkvent calendar. So the end is near. We are super close. So 21 is down here. So let's pull this bottle out. If I can get it out. Struggling. Looks like we have another extreme sheen. So I'm going to open this up and we can get to swatching. This one is called Cosmic Glow, and it's another extreme sheen. So I'm just going to give it a quick little shake. I'm going to move my water out of the way. He's such a weird neighbor is walking down the road with his umbrella. I swear that dude's on drugs. Anywho, okay. So let's see how this one looks. Pull some of it up and it looks like this is another blue ink. Lots of blues. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that, but I sure have. A lot of blue inks. Trying to find, oh, there it is. I was like, where's my little bottle cap thingamajig? Ooh, it's like a blurple. This is like making me think of, is it peacock blue? I think is what I'm thinking of. I'm curious to see what color it sheens, but this is a very, very saturated blue. It's like a blurple almost. So let us do a writing sample, and we are on day 21. I said that more for myself than anyone else. I have stuff all over my hands. I'm gonna have to change this water out before I swatch another one, but that's okay. We're gonna put this top back on here. And this is day 21. Cosmic Glow. I can see it. There went the dryer, and this is another extreme sheen. So yes, it's definitely, you can see what's already starting to sheen through, and that's going to be, or the sheening of it. I have to change this water. It's very much a blurple, if I can explain it, and it looks like maybe some hits of pink are shining through, but we will see what it looks like when it's dried. But this is a lovely, lovely color. Okay, so now that we have done 21, let's move on to 22. That's a lot of ink bottles. I got them all stacked up on my desk. So 22 is up here at the top. Sorry, I don't know what's got Storm barking, but she is going bananas. Okay, so for 22, it looks like it's nutmeg, and it's another shimmer. So I'm going to pause, remove the plastic, and we'll get to swatching. Let me throw this trash away. So much plastic. I need to take my trash out from down here. Okay, so it's another shimmer, right? Okay, so I'm just shaking it a little bit. All right, wonder what color this is gonna be. I have a feeling I'm gonna like this. Oh, hold on, there's like a cat hair on here. You know, when you got all these animals, like I do, there's animal hair always, everywhere. Make sure we're putting this lid on because, you know, clumsy and such. Let me make sure that this top is cleaned. There we go. And let's do a little swirly twirly. Ooh, that's pretty. That's very pretty. It's like a brown, gray brown. It's probably like the best way I can describe this color. Yeah, it's really pretty. The shimmer in it looks to be gold, which I like gold. I used to not like gold, especially like in jewelry, but I think gold is classic. So it does have a gold shimmer, and it is like a very like grayish brown color is how I would describe it. Maybe I'm not describing things accurately. It's like this lid is weird. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not cross-threading it or anything. Huh. Okay. So this is day 22. This is a lovely color. I could see me journaling with this color, and I said this was a shimmer, yes. I could see me putting this in one of my fountain pens and using it in my journal. It's very, very pretty. I like it. It's a nice color. All right, let's move on to day 23. Y'all, we only got 3 more to swatch. So 23 is down here at the bottom. This art is just so cute. Looks like we may have another green. It is called Pine Needle. I'm gonna get this plastic off, and it is another chameleon ink. Lots of chameleon inks in this. This Cosmic Glow is really drying nicely. It has this beautiful dark purple sheen happening, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So let's see what we are gonna get in this one, this chameleon. I'm gonna make sure I put the lid on. And ooh, that's pretty. I like this green. It is a very like green. It's just like your typical like equal parts yellow and blue, making this lovely green color here with some shimmer in it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a very wet ink that I'm noticing. And remember, chameleon is a type of shimmer that will change colors depending on the angle of the light. Which, I mean, I think it's a neat concept. I worry, are these safe to use in fountain pens? I imagine they are, right? Because there sure are a lot of them in here in this advent calendar. And this is, again, my first time having a Diamine Inkvent. So I don't really know what's typical, you know? Maybe next year I can compare and see what it looks like. But yes, this is very much, I think it's named perfectly as it's definitely a pine needle color. I mean, it is just a green. It's a very lovely green color. And I didn't do my figure eights. So I'm just going to do a very small dip. My bad. I got a little ahead of myself, y'all. I'm finally like in my groove here. I feel like when I first started filming all of these swatches, it was taking me forever to get into this groove. But I feel like the more I've done it, the more comfortable I've gotten doing it. But yeah, let's do some nice little figure eights here. Ooh, I do like this green. It's lovely. It is absolutely a lovely shade of green. I can't complain. I don't have a lot of green inks, and a lot of the inks that I have are like almost like the gray greens. So I think having, you know, some options as far as like greens and blues and purples go, I think, you know, so far I've been mostly happy. There are a few that I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this, but for the most part, I would say I'd like probably 90% of the colors I've swatched. Okay, so now we're at 24, because I imagine 25 is going to be the 30 milliliter bottle. Oh, salted caramel. And this is another shimmer. So I wonder what the final one is going to be. Let me shake it up, and then I'm going to remove, you can see there's like some gold shimmer down here. I'm going to remove the plastic so you guys don't watch me struggle with that. I have a feeling that I'm really going to like this color a lot. I don't know. I like browns. I like caramel color, and I'm thinking like a brown with gold shimmer will probably be very pretty. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound of the rain in the background. As of right now, it's just raining, but we do have some thunderstorms that are going to be rolling in. But I always find that the sound of rain is just, it's very relaxing and calming. Let's swirly twirly this bad boy around. Ooh, that's nice. Is it really a caramel color? It looks like the color that I like my coffee to be. Honestly, I think I got a little blue on there, but that's okay. This is lovely. This is another color that I think would look nice in my Twisby Cafe bronze that Jessie bought me for Christmas. I think that's another color that would be lovely in this pen. All right, let me shake it again. And let us do another writing sample. And then I will zoom in on all these colors. This has been so fun for me. I've never sat down and done this. I've always enjoyed watching videos like this, but I've never sat down and done this. So I'm happy that I was able to do it. So we're gonna put day, this is 24. Salted caramel, and this is a shimmer. All right. Wow, lovely. Is it caramel or is it more like coffee? I don't know. Okay, so I like all of these colors, so I'm gonna do a quick just zoom. That's lovely. You can see that gold shimmer in there. Really, really like this. Okay. All right, guys. The next clip that I'll insert in here will be just a clip of how each of these inks looked dried, and then we will open day 25 and be finished. So here is a quick zoom of days 21 through 24 dried, and I would say they dried very nicely. The Diamine Cosmic Glow has this really pretty purple, pink, almost fuchsia sheen to it. The nutmeg dried very nicely, and I'm loving that salted caramel shimmer. I really want to put that one in my cafe bronze. I'm loving how there's like peaks of gray or shades of gray in it, and of course that green chameleon is absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, we're gonna be at the final swatch, right? Woohoo! I think a little piece of cat hair got in that. So I did do a close-up of you know, days 21 through 24, just to kind of give like a quick little review of all the colors from the Inkvent. I'll flip through these pages very quickly. And so far, based off of what I've seen, there are only 2 colors that I just absolutely dislike. Lemon and lime is one of them. It's just not a color I like. And then also, not a big fan of the fruit cocktail. I don't know. It's not so bad dried down, but it's just not really a color I like. Maybe if it was in a pen, it might look better, but it's not my favorite. And then, but the rest I would say are nice, and I at some point would use them. I'm a little bit concerned about using like the shimmers and the chameleons in my fountain pens, because the majority of the fountain pens that I own are either fine or extra fine nibs. So maybe that just means that I need more medium to broad nibs. But for the most part, lovely, lovely set. And I'm loving the sheen on this Cosmic Glow. Absolutely beautiful. So we're going to do the final number 25. And I imagine that that is the one that is going to be the big 30 milliliter bottle, because that's what the thing says. And it is. So this is a 30 milliliter bottle. It is called Good Tidings, and it is an extreme sheen. And I'm going to do a big sample since this is the finale. And then lastly, I'm just going to, you know, give my thoughts about this and just kind of, you know, share this from the perspective of someone who is not necessarily a fountain pen or fountain pen ink connoisseur, and from the perspective of someone, you know, trying this for the first time. I need to look and see how much this costs. So I have my MacBook pulled up to the side here. So let me just look and see how much, so I can tell you guys, because again, this was gifted to me. So this is the Inkvent 2024. It looks like it runs anywhere from like around 110 to about 120. Goulet pen, which is a pretty popular fountain pen company, sells it for 120. Not sure. I feel like my in-laws probably got this off of Amazon, but Google is saying your typical range is $105 to $127 for 25 bottles of ink. I don't necessarily think that's a bad deal, you know? All right, so we're going to do a big old swatch on this page. This is going to be the final swatch. I'm excited to see what this color is. I'm expecting it to be like a finale, right? Like a beautiful color, because it's the biggest bottle that there is. Let's see how it turns out. Your girl's got to put the lid on. I tell you what, I can't do anything with fountain pen inks without getting it all over my hands. And this is called, again, Good Tidings. It comes in a 30 milliliter bottle, and it is an extreme sheen. So let's see how this color swatches. Wow, this is dark. It's almost like a black purple. This is a big old sample. But I figure like this is, right? This is the final sample. So I'm trying to get some color variations. I'm seeing some like purpley gray. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm curious to see how it sheens. I did a really big blob, didn't I? That is actually a really nice color. That's how it looks on the cap there. All right, let's do a little writing sample. The finale, right? think that's all the ink on here. Oh, it's a little bit more. Just make it a big old blob. And my intention behind this is because it's the last one and it's the biggest bottle. While this is drying, and if it's not dry by the time I'm done talking, I will definitely come back in and insert a clip. So Editing Tiffany is just popping in to show you the sheen on this Good Tidings ink color. Definitely a very dark green. You can see the base color is that really dark purpley black, but it is absolutely really cool. My hands, right? To talk about like just my experience, ultimately with this was I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. That's what I was telling my husband. I was like, it took me 2 hours to like film all of this and probably a little bit longer. And then, like going in and editing, like as far as like the video, it was a lot of work, but like actually sitting down and like playing with these fountain inks and swatching them as someone who is new and doesn't really have a large ink collection. The majority of the inks that I have are not Diamine. I have some samples of like some Diamine inks, but I don't have any bottles of Diamine ink. I will say that it's been fun. I really enjoyed being able to do this. I think, I don't know where my calculator's here. So you got 25 bottles. So let's say if you paid like $120 divided by 25. I mean, these averaged about, we'll say about $5 a bottle, which isn't a bad deal, right? So I think like the values there, there was only 2 inks that I was just like, no, I don't like them. So for me, it seems like it would be worth, what was spent on it. And it was just, honestly, it was fun, like opening the Advent box and swatching all of these. I think it would have been a fun experience if I had actually purchased this for myself and like did it day by day, like each day swatch an ink. I think that would have been a fun thing to do. And that might be something that I look into for 2025, depending on, where I'm at, or, if I feel like it's a good value for me. But I would say overall, right, like we can bring in all the ink bottles. I kept them all on my desk. So, hold on, friends. I mean, to get all of these ink bottles for averaging around 120 bucks, that's not too shabby, not too bad at all. And I feel like it was a pretty decent variety of colors. It wasn't just one color took over. There were definitely a lot of like shimmers and like I guess what I would consider to be specialty inks, but there were also some really nice, standard inks that I also liked. So I would say for me, I would consider this to be a positive experience. I really enjoyed it. I think it's like sheening this really metallic green looking color, if you guys can see it. It's not fully dry, but I'll definitely come in and do like one last shot while it's drying. But for me, this was enjoyable. I enjoyed doing this. And I feel like I learned a lot. I've got better as time went on at, pulling up the inks in the little, the droppers or the pipettes, swatching them. I got more comfortable using this glass dip pen that was very inexpensive. So while I do believe that, a lot of hobby in the fountain pen world can be pricey, there are also ways you can like do things that are a little bit more affordable if you don't want to spend $50 on a dip pen. There are options. You can go on Amazon, you can go online. Like I said, I got this glass dip pen at Hobby Lobby. It did have a thicker nib, but it was interesting to use. And most of my fountain pens are inexpensive. Again, my most expensive fountain pens are the TWSBI Ecos, and these typically run about $50 or so, maybe a little less. So I don't have hundreds of dollars of fountain pens, but it's definitely a fun hobby to be in, and I worry about getting more engrossed in it because I think it's going to end up costing me more and more money as time goes on. I'm going to want to try to the more pricey ones. I am saving up for a Pilot Vanishing Point, and yeah, I think I'm going to get a medium nib in that. But y'all see that green sheen? Like here, it kind of looks like that black purple. But when you turn it this way, you're already seeing that green sheen. So this was fun. And if you like stuck it out and watched all like 2 videos that were about 2 hours long, you're awesome. So yeah, I really enjoyed filming this. I really enjoyed like just doing this. This was really enjoyable for me. You know, I'm a creative naturally, so being able to do something like this was just a lot of fun for me. And I just enjoyed the whole like process and experience. But I think next year, if I'm able to, I would like to like actually treat this box as a real advent and do it like day by day or maybe like week by week, because it definitely was a lot, like swatching all of them over the course of 2 days. But yeah, so anyway, those are my thoughts. You know, for anybody who is like engrossed in fountain pens or knows, probably a lot of you probably know a lot more than I do. If there's any tips you want to share, any thoughts, any, you know, like what kind of pens can I use these shimmer inks or chameleon inks in, would be really helpful to me. Yeah, please share any knowledge you may have about fountain pens for anyone else who is watching this who may not know. Like I said, I had to do my own research and kind of learn like these like terminology and things like that. And I think that that's also, you know, a fun part of the hobby. But yeah, please share your comments or any tips or thoughts and all of that. But I'm gonna, you know, end this here. Thank you guys for joining me for, like I said, this crazy long video series. We are leaving to go to the beach tomorrow, and I'm so excited. We'll be spending the New Year's in Panama City. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you have a fabulous day, and Happy New Year, friends. Bye.